Hello, boys and girls, and Cougar parents. This evening we're going to take a look at two-step equations and multi-step equations, but I'm going to add a little twist. We're going to pretend that you're a physician, and you're going to treat every equation as if it were a patient. Okay, and your goal is to cure the equation or find the solution to the equation. Okay, I hope that this metaphor is helpful. If not, just make sure that you show all of your inverse operations as you isolate the variable and solve for it. Let's take a look at Dr. Dissection. Let's take a look at our problem here, and we're going to start with problem 4. I think we did 1 and 2 in class. Okay, and remember, the metaphor that we're using here is we're treating each equation as if it were a patient that comes walking into your office and you're a physician, and there's basically 5 steps that we want to do. And the purpose for this is I want you to really examine the equation that you have. Okay, the whole art of solving an equation is isolating the variable, and you have to do that through inverse operations. Inverse operations means the opposite operation, and you need to ask yourself the opposite of what? Well, you need to know what's happening to your variable first, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, now the first step is we need to check our patient and see, does it need to be cleaned up here? And I got 4x plus 5 is equal to -7. There's nothing I can simplify. There's no distribution. There's no combining like terms, so I'd have to say this is not applicable to this patient, or just no. There's no cleaning up to do. And then we need to diagnose our patient. Our patient here is X. Okay, and what's happening to it? Well, I can see that it is being multiplied, okay, by 4. And I can also see that it's having 5 added to it, so we're adding 5 to it. Those are the two mathematical injuries that this, if I can use the term injuries, are being acted upon this variable. And we need to prioritize which of these injuries we need to take care of first. And you always take care of if something is being added or subtracted on the variable side. We need to get rid of that first. So this would be our first item that we want to take care of, the adding of 5. That's the first injury. And the second injury that we're going to treat is being multiplied by 4. Okay, now we need to prescribe treatments. What treatment do we give? How do we take care of or get rid of adding 5? And that is simply subtract 5. We need to subtract 5. And what is the prescribed treatment for the injury of multiplying by 4? Well, it would be dividing by 4. That's going to cure that illness. So we have to divide by 4. And let's go and perform both of these operations now, because our treatments are really the inverse operations, and we're going to perform those operations. So first we'll start out with subtracting 5. And when we do that, that cancels out our 5's there, and we bring down our 4x is equal to a -7 and a -5. Altogether I have 12 negatives. Okay. Then my next operation, I can check this off. That's completed. My next operation is divide by 4. So I need to divide both sides by 4, and when I do that, I get x is equal to a -12 divided by 4, which is going to be a -3. So x is equal to a -3. And my patient will live. Now let's take a look at number 6. Okay, here's our new patient walking into our office. He looks kind of messy. I see I've got a -4 times the difference of n and 5, which is equal to 16. Yeah, we can definitely clean this patient up here, this equation. We can clean it up by distributing. We need to distribute, I can say that, distribute. So I need to distribute the -4 to both of the terms inside my parentheses. A -4 times an n is a -4n, and then a -4 times a -5 would be a +20, which is equal to 16. Okay, now I can begin to diagnose my patient since I cleaned it up a little bit. I can see here that the first injury that it sustained, it's being multiplied by not 4 but a -4. And it's also being added to by 20. So 20 is being added to it. We always take care of what's being added or subtracted first. So this would be first priority. We have to treat this injury first, and then we would take care of the multiplication injury second. Okay, well, let's take care. What's our prescribed treatment for adding 20? That would be subtracting 20. And what is our prescribed treatment for multiplying something by -4? It would be the inverse opposite of that, which is divide by -4. Okay, let's first do our first operation. We need to subtract by 20 on both sides. The 20s cancel each other out. I bring down my -4n, which will be equal to 16 minus 20. Okay, so if I have 16 and I take 20 away, all 16 is gone, plus I still have 4 more to take away, which is a -4. Okay, so I took care of my first operation. My second operation is I need to divide by -4. So I divide this by -4, and I divide this by -4. My -4's cancel out. I'm left with a positive n is equal to a -4 divided by -4, which is a positive 1. So my n is equal to 1, and I have another happy, healthy patient. Okay, I believe our next problem is number 7. I think I chopped off what number it was, but this is number 7 out here. Okay, we have a new patient walking into our office, and it definitely needs some cleaning up. I see that I need to distribute. And after I'm done distributing, I should be able to begin to treat my patient. Of course, after you diagnose it, you don't want to give it a shot unless it needs one. Okay, and a -5 times 5 is a -25. And then a -5 times m would be a -5m, which is equal to 5. Okay, let's begin to diagnose our patient. We see that m is being multiplied by -5, and then we see that we have a -5, or I should say 25 being taken away from it. Somebody might be saying, yeah, this is a -25, so 25 is being taken away from that side. So we're subtracting 25. You could say we're adding a -25. It's still the same injury. We're taking 25 away. And we need to first take care of anything that's being subtracted or added. So we're going to take care of the subtracting by 5. That's going to be our first injury that we need to treat. And then the second one is the multiplication by a -5. Okay, what's our prescribed treatments? What's the how do we get rid of subtracting 25? We take care of that illness, that injury, with adding 25, and we get rid of the multiplication of a -5 by dividing by a -5. Okay, let's add 25 first. That'll be our first operation. Plus 25 on both sides. Okay, sure enough, it gets rid of the -25. I'm left with -5m is equal to a 5 plus 25, which is 30. Okay, that operation is done, and it was helpful. We're almost in the clear here. We still need to do our second operation, which is divide by -5. And what we do to one side, we do to both sides to keep everything balanced. My -5's cancel out, and m is equal to 30 divided by -5, which is a -6. m is equal to -6. Last operation done, and we have another healthy, happy patient. Let's do one more problem together. I should say let's take care of one more patient. We have b divided by 4 minus 2 is equal to a -3. There's no cleanup necessary here. There's no simplification. I can't distribute anything, and there's no common terms that I can combine. So let's begin our diagnosis. I see that b is being divided by 4. So it's being divided by 4. And I can also see that 2 is being taken away from it. So there's also a subtraction of 2. We need to take care of this subtraction first. That's the first injury we need to take care of, and then we're going to treat the division by 4. The prescribed treatment, the way we take care of subtracting 2 is add 2. That'll take care of that. And the way we take care of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. Let's begin our operations. I'm first going to add a 2 to both sides. That cancels out my -2, and I bring down my b divided by 4 is going to be equal to, and -3 plus 2 is going to be a -1. Okay, so my first operation is taken care of. We're almost done. Now I need to multiply by 4. I need to do that to both sides of the equation. The 4's cancel each other out, and b is equal to a -1 times a +4, which is a -4. And there we have our answer, and we have another healthy, happy patient. Okay. Well, hopefully, boys and girls, that was more fun than a barrel of monkeys. And if it wasn't, hopefully you learned a few things. And if you have questions, please bring them to class tomorrow. I'm a good math teacher. I'm just a lousy mind reader. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.